The galaxy shakes in fear as a deadly alien virus mutates again and again, moving like a living shadow from planet to planet, changing its form faster than any scientist can even understand. Entire species fall in minutes, bones turning into dust that drifts away like smoke, skin melting into black ash that floats in the wind, minds breaking in silent screams before bodies collapse into nothing. Hundreds of planets burn with the same horror, emergency beacons flashing across the stars like dying heartbeats. No cure is found. No hope remains. Every laboratory goes silent after one message: this virus adapts faster than life itself. Scientists from every corner of the galaxy abandon open research and flee deep into bunker networks buried under stone and steel. Fleets lock their borders, sealing sectors with firewalls of warships, hoping distance will protect them. But the virus slips through everything: airborne, liquid, energy-based, shape-shifting, rewriting itself every second. It is unstoppable, unbroken, alive in a way no virus ever should be. Then something impossible happens, something that makes even the bravest captains tremble. A small human scout ship, battered and drifting, crashes on a quarantined moon that the virus consumed only days ago. The alien recovery team prepares to burn the site before anything escapes. They move with heavy suits, sealed helmets, flamethrowers ready to purify the crash zone. But as they get close, the ship's hatch hisses open, and the humans walk out alive. Their movements are steady, slow, strangely calm, as if they don't realize the nightmare they should be experiencing. Their skin glows faintly under the moonlight, not bright, not dramatic, just wrong. Their eyes look sharper, colder, as if they see through fog that others cannot. Alien scanners scream warnings so loud the alarms crackle. The virus is inside the humans. Deep inside. But the humans are not dying. They are not coughing. They are not collapsing. They are simply staring back, breathing normally, almost confused at why the soldiers are terrified. The recovery team backs away, shouting commands, weapons trembling in their hands. They were trained for horrors, but nothing prepared them for victims who refuse to die. Panic spreads faster than the virus itself. Rumors erupt on every station, every colony, every government channel. Did the humans evolve past it? Did they create the virus? Did they unlock something forbidden inside their DNA? Or did the virus choose them? Alien governments demand answers. They send messages to Earth, calls, warnings, threats. But human leadership stays silent. No statements. No explanations. And silence from humanity always means danger. Whenever they stay quiet, something is being prepared behind closed doors, something the galaxy never likes facing. Throughout history, humans were strange. They adapt under pressure, fight harder when cornered, grow stronger when everything says they should break. Now a virus that mutates too fast for any species to survive is sitting inside their bodies like a calm passenger. Something about this does not make sense. Something about this feels like the beginning of a shift the galaxy never wanted. The tension becomes so sharp even communication signals feel colder. The galaxy watches Earth closely for any hint of action, but all they receive is one short message sent to every major power: do not approach our people. Do not touch our ships. For your safety. No anger. No threats. Only a warning delivered with such calm that it shakes the universe more than any weapon could. It is not a human fear message. It is a human boundary. And when humans draw a line, history shows they will destroy anything that crosses it. Fleets monitor the quarantined moon from a safe distance, terrified to move closer. The humans who survived the virus walk slowly across the crash site, checking equipment, talking softly among themselves, acting as if they simply survived a normal accident. They do not know the entire galaxy is watching them in pure dread. But the true horror, the real nightmare, begins when medical scans reveal something far worse than anyone imagined. The virus inside the humans isn't dormant. It isn't dying. It is active, shifting, adapting, but instead of killing them, it moves in harmony with their cells, like it is learning from them, absorbing them, understanding them. Each second, the virus glows brighter in the scans, forming patterns no species has ever recorded. Patterns that look almost like messages. Scientists try to warn the Council: the virus is mutating inside humans in a new way. It is not fighting them. It is cooperating. But their warnings come too late. Across the galaxy, ships drift silently, afraid to get closer. Leaders argue behind locked doors. Soldiers grip their weapons tightly, watching the glowing human figures walking slowly across a dead moon. And somewhere deep inside the virus, something watches back. Something waits. Something chooses. The containment lab is silent, yet the silence feels heavy, thick, almost alive as the surviving humans stand inside the sealed glass chamber. Alien doctors watch them through reinforced shields, fear growing in their eyes with every passing second. The scanners flicker again and again, unable to process what is happening inside the humans' bodies. The virus, a nightmare that tore apart more than 30 species, moves through their blood like glowing threads of living light. It does not attack their cells. It does not damage their organs. Instead, it changes itself with every heartbeat, rewriting its form so fast no machine can keep up. One doctor whispers that the virus seems comfortable inside them, like it finally found a home after destroying everything else. Some aliens look away, unable to accept what they are seeing. Inside the chamber, Lieutenant Orin rubs her arm slowly, feeling a strange warmth just under her skin. She does not feel sick. She does not feel weak. Instead, she feels sharper, more aware, as if every breath brings a new sense she never had before. Her partner, Cade, stares at his hand with wide eyes. He opens and closes his fingers, confused by the faint light moving under his skin like tiny rivers. He whispers, "I don't feel human, but I don't feel like a monster either." The words shake something deep inside the room, because none of them asked for this, none of them wanted any of it. They were simple explorers thrown into a nightmare with no escape. Alien guards raise their weapons, unsure if they are protecting the scientists or protecting themselves. They whisper to each other, arguing quietly whether the humans should be destroyed before the virus uses them as a way to escape. But one old scientist, voice trembling, says, "No, the virus is not controlling them. It is responding to them. It is learning from them." His words hit the room with a weight that makes the guards hesitate. Humans were already known for their strange ability to adapt, survive, evolve under pressure, but this is something else. This is evolution happening in real time, second by second, visible, measurable, undeniable. Orin suddenly feels a sharp pulse in her head, not painful, but deep, like a voice trying to speak without words. She grips the side of the chamber, breathing slow, trying to understand. The virus inside her moves like it is reacting to her thoughts, like it is listening. Cade sees her expression and steps closer, panic tightening his chest. "What's happening?" he asks, but the answer doesn't come from her. It comes from the scanners, which explode with new readings so intense the screens crack from overload. Waves of energy radiate from the humans, knocking small instruments over, dimming the lights of the room. The scientists stumble back, their faces pale and frightened, because nothing about this is natural. Nothing about this is safe. Inside the chamber, the humans begin to breathe in sync without meaning to, their bodies reacting to the energy rising around them. The virus glows brighter under their skin, forming shapes like ancient symbols, moving like whispers of light across their veins. Orin closes her eyes tightly as the strange presence inside her finally speaks in a soft trembling echo she can feel instead of hear. It feels lonely. It feels afraid. It feels like something that has wandered for ages without a home, and somehow it has found one in them. Tears run down Orin's cheeks because she can feel its fear mixing with her own. She does not understand it, but she feels it deeply, painfully. Cade touches her shoulder, and a sudden spark of light jumps between them. The energy connects their bodies for a moment, and they both gasp as a wave of emotion crashes through them. Loss, pain, memories of entire species dying, worlds falling, voices disappearing into smoke. It is the virus's memory. It carries the death of millions inside it, and now it shares this burden with the humans. Their knees weaken, and both fall to the ground, shaking, not from sickness but from the weight of everything the virus has endured and everything it has destroyed. The aliens watching them feel terror rise in their throats, because no virus should feel sorrow, and no human should feel its memories. Orin lifts her head slowly, tears still streaming, and says in a broken whisper, "It didn't want to kill anyone, it just didn't know how to stop changing." The guards step back in horror, unable to understand how she knows this. The scientists stare in disbelief, realizing the truth: this virus is not mindless. It is not evil. It is lost. And humans, for reasons no one understands, are the only beings who can hold its chaos without dying. Suddenly, the chamber lights flicker violently. Alarms blare. Power surges. Machines fail one by one. The virus inside the humans surges like a storm, responding to the rising emotional panic in the room. Orin and Cade struggle to stand, clutching each other as the floor vibrates under their feet. The virus is connecting to them deeper, stronger, almost as if it is trying to protect them from the fear around them. The old scientist shouts, "Do not harm them." The virus is reacting to emotional stress. But his warning comes too late. One frightened guard fires a stun bolt at the chamber. The shot cracks against the glass, sending vibrations through the humans' bodies. Instantly the virus flares, glowing so bright the whole room is drowned in blue-white light. The humans scream, not from pain, but from the overwhelming force of the transformation happening inside them. Their voices echo through the lab in a way that does not sound fully human anymore. The scientists freeze. The guards drop their weapons. The lights explode overhead. And in that blinding moment, everyone in the room understands the same terrifying truth. The virus is no longer inside the humans. It is connected to them. It is listening to them. It is evolving with them. And whatever they become next, no one will be able to control it. The light finally fades, but the room does not return to normal. Everything feels different, air heavier, shadows darker, silence sharper. Smoke rises from broken machines, screens hang from their wires, guards lie unconscious on the floor. Only the humans remain standing, though their bodies tremble, their breathing uneven, their skin glowing faintly like soft blue fire trapped inside their veins. Orin opens her eyes slowly, and for a moment her irises shimmer with patterns that look almost alive. Cade touches his chest, feeling something pulsing inside him, something that does not belong yet feels like it has always been waiting. The virus has changed again, but this time, it has changed with purpose. The scientists stagger to their feet, terrified to move closer. They whisper to one another, their voices shaking, some in fear, some in awe. One asks if the humans are still themselves. Another wonders if the virus is now thinking through them. But none of them dare to approach. They know what they've witnessed is something no species in the galaxy has ever seen, a virus forming a bond not to kill, but to speak. Orin suddenly hears something inside her mind, a soft echo, faint but real. It feels like someone trapped far away, calling out through layers of darkness. She freezes, her heart pounding. The echo grows stronger, filling her skull like distant thunder. Cade sees her pain and grabs her hand, and instantly the same voice spills into his mind, ancient and broken. Both fall to one knee, clutching each other for balance. Tears stream down Orin's face as she whispers, "It's talking, it's trying to talk." The doctors stare with wide, hollow eyes, knowing no lab can prepare them for what is happening next. Then, without warning, the voice pushes through fully. Orin lifts her head and speaks in a voice that is not her own, deep, layered, trembling with thousands of tones. The room goes dead silent as everyone watches a single human woman speak with the power of something beyond life. She says, "We did not ask to survive. We did not choose to destroy. We were created to protect a world that died long ago." Her own voice blends with the virus's voice, forming an echo that fills the entire lab like a memory of something ancient rising again. Cade clutches her shoulder as he feels the same presence inside him, heavy and lonely, carrying grief older than any star map. The virus continues speaking through Orin, "We were made to adapt, to change, to defend. But when our creators died, we lost our purpose. We kept changing, kept evolving, kept searching, until we destroyed everything we touched." Orin's tears fall faster now, because she can feel its emotions, its confusion, its guilt, its endless wandering from species to species, always becoming stronger, never finding a host that could survive the constant change inside it. Every victim it consumed added to its memories, to its pain, to its fear. It was not a monster, it was a child abandoned in a burning universe, reacting without understanding. Cade feels the virus press deeper into his mind, showing flashes of planets collapsing, species screaming, civilizations dying in seconds. He falls to the floor, overwhelmed, clutching his head as 1,000 dying voices echo inside him. He whispers, "Stop, please stop," but the memories keep coming, until he suddenly feels Orin's hand on his arm. The moment she touches him, the energy between them stabilizes, the connection sharing the burden, turning unbearable pain into something they can survive together. The virus calms instantly, as if the human's touch gives it direction. The scientists realize something terrifying. The virus is responding to human emotion. It reacts to their fear, their comfort, their pain, their unity. It is not controlling them. It is leaning on them. Orin rises slowly, still shaking, and looks around the shattered lab with eyes that have seen too much. She whispers, "It's not trying to kill us. It is trying to understand why we're not dying." Her voice cracks with exhaustion, and for the first time since the crash, she feels truly afraid, not of the virus, but of what they are becoming. Before anyone can process this, the room shakes again. The virus inside the humans shifts, sending out a wave of invisible energy that rolls across the lab like a silent storm. Every metal object vibrates. Every light flickers. Every heartbeat in the room sinks for a moment with the pulse coming from Orin and Cade. The scientists freeze where they stand, unable to breathe. The virus now uses their bodies to speak again, but this time the voice is heavier, almost sorrowful. "You are the first to endure us, the first who did not fall. You adapt like we adapt. You change like we change. We do not understand you, but we need you." The scientists step back, horrified by the implication. The universe has just become the home of a living virus that has found, for the first time in its existence, a partner instead of a victim. Orin falls to her knees, overwhelmed by the emotions rushing through her: fear, grief, empathy that is not hers, loneliness that stretches across galaxies. Cade kneels beside her, pulling her into his arms as the virus settles inside them like a trembling heartbeat. For a moment, the room feels heartbreakingly quiet, filled with only the soft sound of two humans holding each other against something too big to understand. The head scientist whispers, "What is it asking for?" Orin lifts her glowing eyes to him, and there is something new there, something not human, not virus, but a merging of both. She speaks softly, her voice trembling. "It wants to stop killing. But it can't." She closes her eyes, and a single tear glows as it falls. "It needs us to guide it, before it destroys everything left." Every alien in the room realizes the nightmare truth: the most dangerous force in the galaxy is no longer outside the humans. It is inside them, growing with them, learning from them. And the galaxy will not accept that. The trembling in the lab does not stop, it deepens, crawling through the walls like a living heartbeat. The emergency lights flicker, casting long shadows over the humans who now kneel together on the cold floor. Orin tries to steady her breathing, but every inhale pulls a new wave of energy through her veins, energy that is not hers. Cade squeezes her hand, trying to anchor her, but he feels the same storm growing inside him. The virus is changing again, its glow spreading through their blood, its presence settling deeper into their bones, its voice quiet now but heavy with unspoken emotion. The scientists feel helpless as they watch this transformation happen in real time, powerless to stop it. A young alien guard regains consciousness near the shattered control panel. He sees the glowing humans, the broken machines, the faint blue light rising from their skin, and panic takes over. His hands shake violently as he grabs his weapon, fear twisting his face. He whispers, "They're changing, they're becoming something else." His voice cracks as he steps back, barely able to breathe. He points the weapon toward the humans, even though everything inside him screams to run. Orin lifts her head weakly, her eyes still shining faintly, and whispers, "Please, don't." Her voice trembles, not with threat, but with exhaustion and fear. But the guard is already terrified beyond reason. He sees not victims, but evolving beings that should not exist. Before he can fire, the virus reacts instinctively. A ripple of invisible force spreads from Orin and Cade, bending the air like heat from a star. The guard flies backward, not violently but gently, as if the energy refuses to harm him. He lands safely, the weapon sliding from his hands. The room goes still again, the air thick with confusion. The scientists stare in disbelief. This power does not behave like a weapon. It behaves like something trying to protect its hosts. Orin gasps, holding her chest as she feels the virus tremble inside her. It responds to fear, to danger, to emotion. It feels what she feels, amplifies what she feels, reacts to what she fears. And in this moment she realizes a terrifying truth: if she loses control of her emotions, the virus might lose itself too. She whispers shakily, It just wanted to protect us." The head scientist steps closer, slowly, hands raised in calm surrender. His voice shakes as he says, "Orin, Cade, you have to stay calm. The virus listens to your minds. If you panic, it panics. The humans nod weakly, their bodies trembling from the effort of keeping their breath steady. But the virus is not the only danger. Alarms suddenly boom across the entire facility, echoing through every corridor. Red lights spin. Heavy metal doors slam shut one by one. The scientists look at each other in horror. A voice from the intercom shouts, "Containment breach detected. All units prepare for emergency neutralization." The word neutralization hits Orin and Cade like ice. They know what it means. If the higher command believes the virus has escaped containment, they will destroy everything inside this lab without hesitation. They will burn it, collapse it, erase it from existence. Cade stands slowly, the blue glow in his veins pulsing brighter with every heartbeat. "They think we're infected," he whispers, voice heavy with dread. Orin stands beside him, tears slipping down her cheeks. "We are infected," she says softly, "but we're still human." Her voice breaks because she knows the truth. The galaxy will never believe that. They will see the virus inside them, not the humanity still fighting to hold on. The scientists scramble to override the facility lockdown, but the system rejects every command. A countdown begins on the cracked screens, 5 minutes until the entire level is purged by fire. Orin grabs the glass wall of the chamber for support as the virus inside her pulses with rising fear, mirroring her heartbeat. She whispers, "We can't die here, not like this," and the virus responds with a sudden surge of heat that spreads through her skin. The chamber walls vibrate. The metal groans. The scientists back away, terrified as energy gathers around the humans like a storm preparing to break. Orin feels something inside her unlock, something she did not know she had. The virus follows her thoughts, her instincts, her desperation to survive. Cade steps beside her, placing his hand on the same wall, and the blue glow spreads between them like a shared flame. The virus amplifies their bond. Their fear becomes a single echo. Their strength becomes one current. The glass begins to melt under their touch, shaping itself into ripples as if it recognizes them. The scientists stare in breathless silence as the containment chamber dissolves into thin air, not shattered, not broken, but simply undone by the energy radiating from the humans. Orin and Cade walk forward slowly, their bodies glowing with controlled power, yet their expressions filled not with rage or violence, only sorrow and determination. They do not want to hurt anyone. They want to live. The head scientist steps forward, trembling, but brave. "We will help you escape," he says quietly, because he knows the galaxy will not show them mercy. But as he speaks, Orin hears the virus whisper again, not through words, but through feeling. It senses the danger approaching outside the facility. It senses fear, weapons, ships, soldiers. It senses hatred from beings who have already decided humans must be erased before the virus spreads further. Orin reaches for Cade's hand, squeezing tightly as tears burn her eyes. "They're coming for us," she whispers. Cade nods, swallowing his fear. "They think we're the threat." Orin looks down at her glowing veins, at the living storm inside her. "Maybe we are," she says softly, "but we didn't choose this." The countdown reaches its final minute. The facility shakes as defense turrets activate. Orin feels the virus pulse with rising panic, and she clenches her eyes shut, trying to calm it as if calming a frightened child. Cade holds her shoulders, helping her breathe. Then something unexpected happens. The virus inside them shifts again, gently this time, almost tenderly. A warm wave flows through their bodies like a soft heartbeat. Orin gasps as she feels a strange emotion from the virus: trust. For the first time, it trusts them. It knows they are trying to protect it. It is trying to protect them. And in that shared moment, something new is formed, not human, not virus, but a bond deeper than survival. A bond the galaxy will fear more than death itself. The final seconds of the purge countdown echo through the collapsing facility as alarms scream overhead, each warning louder and sharper than the last. The floor vibrates under Orin's feet, dust falling from the ceiling, pipes groaning as pressure builds. Cade stands beside her, his jaw tight, his hands shaking not from weakness but from the overwhelming power rising inside him. Power that feels like a second heartbeat, a living force pulsing beneath his skin. The virus, once a wandering nightmare, now moves inside them with purpose, reacting to every emotion, every fear, every thought. Orin tries to breathe slow, but her lungs feel full of fire, not air. She can feel the virus sensing the danger outside, the army gathering, ships locking weapons, commanders shouting orders fueled by fear of what the humans are becoming. The scientists panic around them, running to terminals, shouting into comm systems that no longer respond, trying desperately to cancel the purge. They know the humans did not ask for this. They know the virus is not controlling them. But the galaxy outside does not care about truth. Fear decides faster than reason, and fear has already decided humanity must be erased before their mutation spreads. One scientist, shaking so badly his fingers barely move, whispers, "They think you'll destroy the galaxy, they think you're already lost." Orin looks at him with eyes glowing faintly, sadness settling over her like a heavy blanket. "We're not lost," she whispers, voice trembling. "We're trying to understand what's happening to us." Then the purge system clicks into its final phase. The sound is small, barely noticeable, yet it carries the weight of death. Massive vents open in the walls, releasing streams of burning plasma meant to sterilize the entire floor. The heat blasts toward them like a tidal wave of fire. The scientists scream. Cade pulls Orin close, shielding her with his arms even though he knows his body cannot stop what's coming. But the virus reacts first. A pulse of blue light bursts from their bodies, soft at first, then impossibly bright. The flames hit the light and bend around it, flowing like liquid gold around an invisible shield. The purge energy engulfs the room but never touches them. It moves around Orin and Cade like they are the center of a calm storm. The scientists stare in pure disbelief as the humans remain untouched in the middle of hellfire, their bodies glowing brighter with each second. Orin feels the virus tremble inside her, not from rage, but from fear. Not fear for itself, but for them. She hears its echo again, a soft cry in the back of her mind, the ancient grief of something that has watched billions die because it didn't know how to stop changing. She whispers softly, almost motherly, "It's okay, we're here, we're not fighting you." And for a moment, the virus calms like a frightened child soothed by gentle hands. Outside the facility, warships hover with weapons locked, their captains watching through live feeds as the purge fails. The sight terrifies them. Humans standing in fire, glowing like living stars, protected by a virus that adapts faster than life. A council commander whispers, "We cannot let them leave." Another replies, "We cannot let them live." Their orders carry across fleets, thousands of ships turning their guns toward the dying facility. Inside, the head scientist steps forward, tears in his eyes. "They're preparing to kill you," he says quietly. Orin looks up, her face pale, glowing veins pulsing beneath her skin. "We know," she whispers. "They're afraid." Cade clenches his fists, feeling anger rise, not the virus's anger, but his own. "We didn't choose this," he says through gritted teeth. "We just survived." Orin touches his hand, grounding him before the virus can react to his emotion. The bond between them holds the energy steady. Suddenly, the facility trembles violently as a direct hit from an orbital cannon shakes the entire foundation. The ceiling cracks. Metal beams fall. Scientists scream and run for cover. Orin sways, nearly falling, as the virus surges inside her in pure panic. She tries to steady it, whispering, "It's okay, stay with us, we're not dying here." But the virus senses destruction all around and reacts faster than thought. Light bursts from their bodies again, brighter, stronger, shaping itself into a dome of shimmering force that shields not only them but the scientists who had tried to help. The ceiling collapses into molten debris, hitting the shield and sliding off like liquid metal. The scientists stare through tears because they realize something impossible: the humans are protecting them. Even now, even while the galaxy is preparing to kill them, Orin and Cade are still human enough to shield others. Cade looks up at the ceiling with a mix of fear and rage. "They won't stop," he whispers. Orin steps closer to him, placing her forehead gently against his, grounding both of them. "We can't run from this," she says softly, voice trembling but steady. "We didn't want this power, but we have it now. And we can't let fear decide what we become." The virus pulses inside them, acting like a small heartbeat. Orin feels its sorrow, its loneliness, its desperate need for connection. She understands something no one else does: the virus is not trying to dominate them, it is leaning on them because for the first time in its existence it found hosts who do not die. Hosts who can carry its memories without breaking. Hosts who can help it understand itself. Another violent blast shakes the facility as the warships outside prepare to fire again. The head scientist shouts, "You have to leave. You have to escape now." Orin nods, her eyes glowing brighter as she feels the virus respond to her decision. Cade grips her hand tightly. They both know that once they step outside, the entire galaxy will see them not as victims, but as a new threat. They take one step forward, their bodies glowing with soft blue fire. The virus whispers inside them, not in words, but in emotions so clear it shakes their souls. Trust. Fear. Hope. And in that moment, Orin realizes the truth. The galaxy is preparing to kill them. But if the virus grows any stronger, if the humans lose control even once, they might be the ones who destroy the galaxy instead. The shattered facility groans under the weight of collapsing steel and fire as Orin and Cade take slow, uncertain steps toward the exit, the blue glow under their skin growing brighter with every heartbeat. The virus pulses inside them like a living storm trying to decide whether to calm or explode. Outside, countless alien warships hover in the sky, their massive cannons aimed directly at the broken structure, ready to erase everything inside. The humans feel the pressure of thousands of targeting systems locking onto them, each one humming with lethal intent. The air outside shakes with the sound of engines, the same engines meant to bring judgment, not rescue. The scientists huddle behind fallen debris, fear etched deep across their faces as they watch the two glowing figures walk into a storm of destruction. Orin steps through the broken outer wall first, her boots sinking into ash and twisted metal. Wind rushes against her glowing skin, carrying the distant echoes of panicked radio chatter from the warships above. Cade steps beside her, shoulders tense, his hands trembling slightly as he tries to keep the virus calm inside him. The sky is filled with silver ships, thousands of them forming a wall of death around the moon. Lights aim down like giant unblinking eyes watching two humans who should not be alive, who should not be walking, who should not be changing the way they are. A commander's voice booms from the sky, cold and sharp, "Humans, remain where you are. Any movement will be considered an act of aggression." Orin lifts her face to the cloud-covered heavens, her eyes glowing softly, sadness pouring out of her expression. "We don't want to fight," she whispers, knowing they cannot hear her but saying it anyway because the virus inside her reacts to every fragment of emotion she feels. Cade places a hand on her back gently, grounding her as the virus vibrates like a frightened heartbeat, sensing thousands of weapons aimed directly at the hosts it has chosen. The warships adjust their cannons, heavy metal groaning, ready to fire. Orin feels it. The virus feels it. That fear, that pressure, that cold decision rising through alien command, destroy them before they become unstoppable. The virus begins to panic, not violently but desperately, like something terrified of losing its only chance to exist without killing. Orin closes her eyes and murmurs, "Please, please stay calm, we're here, we're with you." Her voice trembles, and for a brief moment the glow under her skin softens, the energy stabilizing as the virus responds to her emotional anchor. But then a single soldier on a distant ship, acting out of fear rather than orders, fires. It is only one shot, one beam of white-hot light streaking across the sky, but that is enough to break everything. The energy bolt cuts through the smoke, heading straight toward Orin. Cade shouts her name, reaching for her, but the virus reacts faster than human reflexes. A wall of shimmering blue light erupts around the humans, the beam hitting it and splitting apart like water thrown against stone. The warships panic, believing the humans attacked first. Alarms blare across every fleet. Thousands of cannons charge simultaneously. The sky lights up with glowing red circles as targeting locks engage. A final warning echoes through the air, "All vessels fire." Orin hears the words and feels a sharp pain inside her chest, not physical pain, but emotional pain so deep it nearly breaks her. She can feel the virus crying inside her, not with sound but with raw emotion. It doesn't understand war. It doesn't understand fear. It only understands that everything it touches dies, and now it's about to watch the only hosts who survived be destroyed. Cade grabs Orin's hand tightly, their fingers interlocking, the glow in their veins merging like two rivers crossing. He whispers, voice shaking, "Whatever happens, we face it together." The sky erupts. Thousands of beams, missiles, energy blasts, plasma strikes, and fusion lances descend like a burning waterfall. The humans look up at the storm of destruction falling toward them. The virus reacts instantly, its fear merging with theirs, its instinct to protect exploding into power. The air ripples violently. The ground cracks beneath their feet. The blue light inside them erupts into a massive burst that engulfs both their bodies. From the warships above, it looks like a star is being born. The blasts hit the blue barrier surrounding Orin and Cade, but instead of breaking, the barrier grows. It drinks the energy, absorbs it, bends it, reshapes it. The virus does not attack, it adapts, forming a shield that feels like a giant living creature curling its body around the humans in a desperate attempt to keep them safe. The entire battlefield falls silent except for the roaring energy swirling inside the expanding shield. Orin screams, not from pain but from the overwhelming force of the virus binding itself to her soul. She can feel its memories crashing into her again, flashes of ancient creators, dead worlds, endless drifting, millions of species falling to something that never meant to kill. It overwhelms her until she collapses to her knees, gripping the dirt, her glowing tears falling like drops of blue fire. Cade kneels beside her, trying to steady her, but he too is drowning in the flood of emotion that is no longer just the virus's, but partly his. The shield grows brighter, larger, stronger, until it stretches across the entire valley, blocking every weapon the fleet fires. A commander whispers in horror, "They're not humans anymore." Another responds, voice trembling, "There's something new." The shield suddenly stops expanding, the blue light stabilizing into a giant translucent dome. At its center, Orin and Cade cling to each other, bodies shaking, overwhelmed by power they cannot fully control. Then, slowly, the light behind them begins to rise. Not a weapon. Not a ship. Something, shaped like a giant human silhouette made of pure blue light and swirling virus energy, standing tall behind Orin and Cade like a guardian born from fear and sorrow. A being the virus created to protect its only surviving hosts. Its massive head tilts downward as if watching over them, its shape flickering like a living constellation. Every warship captain freezes in horror. Orin lifts her face, tears glowing on her cheeks, and whispers to the giant light, What are you?" The answer comes not through sound but through emotion, echoing inside both humans at once. "We are what you made us. We are what you needed. We are your protection, and your burden." The fleets retreat slowly, their fear overwhelming discipline. No one dares fire again. Cade looks at the massive figure behind them, his breath trembling. "Orin, what happens now?" She swallows hard, looking up at the sky where thousands of ships hover in terrified silence. "I don't know," she whispers, voice breaking. "But the galaxy will never leave us alone now." The virus pulses inside them, the glowing giant standing guard like a silent promise. And the story ends on the cliffhanger of the century. Two humans, fused with the most dangerous force in the galaxy. A living virus that evolved into a protector. A universe ready to declare war.